Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Tyler Hynes is best known to many for his work with the Hallmark channel, for his warm-hearted leading roles, the easy smile, the Canadian charm. But on November 1st, 2025, at the historic Rogers Centre in Toronto, he became simply one of the many in the crowd who had dared to believe. He had traveled, he had gathered with his family, and he had placed his full faith in his hometown team, the Blue Jays. According to reports Tyler posted on social media, 7 years old the last time we were here. With my brother. With the fam. I hope this happens for this city. Hashtag Toronto Blue Jays, however this shakes out. We're here. We made it back. Those words carry weight. They capture both the nostalgia and the hunger of the moment. A city that waited, a team that returned to the mountaintop, and a fan who simply wanted to witness the culmination. Because this was not just any game. This was Game 7. All the stakes. All the dreams. Every pitch mattered. Every swing mattered. And for Tyler Hynes, it was personal. As the Blue Jays stepped onto the field, the energy amplified. For Tyler, growing up Canadian enabled him to feel something many outsiders don't fully grasp, the pulse of a city behind its team. He had grown up around it, the stories of the Jays' earlier era, the victories and the droughts. And this moment felt like the return of a generation's hope. In the game itself, the Blue Jays executed with poise. They jumped out to a lead, built momentum, and carried the hopes of a home crowd. The tension mounted with each inning. Cheers, sighs, high fives, nails chewed, hearts racing. Tyler, sitting among his family, was no longer just an actor at a game. He became a symbol of many. A fan who had waited, believed, showed up. Let's listen to that roar. Let's imagine the crack of the bat when an early home run leaps into the night sky. Tyler hears it, the crowd rises, and for a moment, the city exhales. But of course baseball, especially in Game 7s, writes drama of its own. The Blue Jays held control for much of the contest, but the opposing team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, kept clawing back. They matched intensity. They matched hunger. They forced late innings. They forced extra innings. And they forced heartbreak. According to the official summary of the 2025 World Series, Game 7 went to the 11th inning. Picture Tyler's expression during those late innings. Elation. Hope. Then tension. Then the sudden silence as the home team's rally fell short. You can feel it, the weight of thousands of people waiting to breathe again, to release, to celebrate. But instead, the night ended in agony, the Blue Jays losing in extra innings. In his post-game social media message, Tyler captured it. The hope, the sense of history, the heartbreak. We're here. We made it back. But, however this shakes out, those last 6 words quietly admit that hope is not always enough. The city had come back. The team had come back. The fan was present. But the outcome slipped away. For Tyler, this was both a personal moment and a collective moment. The actor from Toronto who began his career young, who grew up in Canada, was now in the stands of the biggest moment his city's team had reached in decades. The Blue Jays' first World Series appearance since 1993. Think about that, decades long. A generation or more of waiting. Tyler had been 7 years old the last time the Jays were this close. Now he was in the crowd for Game 7. His presence underscored how big this was. Not just for baseball aficionados, but for the culture of Toronto, for its identity, for its belief. Let's pause to reflect on what it takes to show up in such a moment. The airfare. The tickets. The gear. The emotional investment. Tyler Hynes wasn't simply taking a photo op. He was placing himself in the story. He was among fans who had lived through good seasons, bad seasons, rebuilding years, hope and despair. He was in the stands with people who held on to the dream that one day the Blue Jays would reach this moment again. When Tyler wrote about being 7 years old the last time we were here, he meant more than the last pitching record or ticket stub. He meant childhood memories, innocence, the feeling of possibility. He meant returning as an adult with the same childlike wonder, but also with adult understanding of how rare and fragile these moments are. And that puts the loss into sharper relief. The Jays battled, they pressed, they climbed. But in extra innings, Game 7, the Dodgers executed the one big swing they needed. That one moment. That one pitch. That one home run in the 11th inning. The crowd's roar turned into a sigh. The gathered hopes turned into heartbreak. The city sat stunned. Tyler sat among them. He cheered, he hoped, he waited. And then, for a moment, everything flipped. So what does Tyler's presence tell us about fandom, about culture, about hope? First, that being a fan means more than loving a team in the regular season. It means showing up when everything is on the line. It means believing in possibility. Tyler showed that. Second, that sports moments become part of our personal storylines. For Tyler Hynes, Game 7 is now a turning point in his life narrative. He will always say, "I was there. I felt it. I believed it." Third, that the collective energy of a stadium of tens of thousands becomes part of identity. In that moment, Tyler was one of many, yet his celebrity made his moment visible to others. His voice on social media brought size to the moment, reminding fans around the world that Toronto mattered. In his acting career, Tyler Hynes has portrayed characters who chase hope, find connection, celebrate love, overcome obstacles. What his attendance at Game 7 symbolizes is similarly thematic. The striving, the community, the stakes. One could even draw a parallel between his on-screen roles and this off-field moment, both about commitment and believing. But let's delve into what the Blue Jays achieved that season to reach Game 7, and how that context enriches the moment. The 2025 World Series, according to the records, had the Blue Jays facing the Dodgers in a hard-fought battle. Toronto collected more hits than their opponent over the series, had fewer errors, and outscored the Dodgers by 8 runs. Yet despite that dominance, the result ultimately went the other way because baseball decisions hinge on critical moments. For Tyler Hynes and the fans in the stands, that nuance will linger. The difference between statistical dominance and ultimate victory. We should also consider the venue, Rogers Center. A modern bowl of hopes and dreams. The mechanics of a Game 7, the atmosphere inside the stadium, was electric. Team flags, wave after wave of fans, those banner-raising chants, the smell of popcorn and hot dogs, the crack of the bat, add to that the added weight of a city's anticipation. Tyler Hynes entering that arena brought with him not only his own hope, but the echoes of generations who watched from home waiting for this moment. Tyler's Instagram post, "We're here. We made it back," betrays an emotional journey. Starting perhaps as a kid watching baseball, to a grown actor living in Toronto but with wide-ranging roles, to this night in 2025. And even though the Blue Jays did not pull it out, his commitment to being present is meaningful. He showed up, he believed, he felt the moment. Let's talk about what that loss means. For Tyler. For the fans. For the city. Sometimes being so close, Game 7, extra innings, hurts more than defeat in a less charged moment. Tyler, like many fans, now holds in his memory the image of the final out, the crowd's gasp, the scoreboard flipping, the moment it happened. It stings. But he also carries the memory of being ready to witness something special. He carried an optimism that the team would succeed because he knew all the work, all the sweat, all the seasons of rebuilding. He was among those who believed the Blue Jays could get back to the summit, and they did. They just didn't bring the trophy home this time. From a broader lens, Tyler's appearance at the game underscores how sports and entertainment intersect. A recognizable face in the crowd draws attention. Social media amplifies the scene. Fandom becomes part of celebrity image. Yet Tyler didn't overshadow the moment. He blended into it. He became one of the thousands roaring for every pitch. And that's beautiful in a way, a public figure choosing to be a public fan. And consider the phrase, "however this shakes out." That's a humble acceptance of the unknown. It's acknowledging that sometimes we show up thinking this is it, and yet the story doesn't end the way we hoped. Yet we stand anyway. Tyler stood anyway. And so did the city. And so did the fans. In his career, Tyler Hynes has portrayed characters who find love, face challenges, take leaps of faith. His presence at Game 7 is no different, a leap of faith into hope. The narrative arc is similar. The setup, the build-up, the climax, the resolution. Though the resolution wasn't what everyone hoped, the story still carries meaning. The journey still matters. And for Toronto, well, the Blue Jays made history simply by reaching Game 7. The fact that Tyler noted, "The last time we were here I was 7, reminds us of the generational tie. Childhood, adolescence, adulthood. From watching games on TV to being in the stadium seats. That arc mirrors not only Tyler's life but many fans who aged, waited, and persisted. They got back to Game 7. Now Tyler can carry the experience with him. The elevating moments, the support of his family, the energy of the fans, the sting of defeat, the pride of presence. And his followers can engage. He shared the narrative. He invited others to feel that they were there. And perhaps in the future, when the Blue Jays return to the stage, Tyler Hynes will return too. And the city will believe again. And maybe, just maybe, the result will tilt in Toronto's favor. The memory of this loss will become part of a larger redemption story. Because sometimes you don't just win championships, you build legacies. And that begins in a moment like this. Picture the post-game walkout of the stadium. Hundreds of thousands of fans, lights still bright, murmurs of what if, reflections in every face. Tyler Hynes among them, still wearing blue, still believing. Social media will buzz about his presence, photos of him in the stands, with his family, cheering. But the core of it isn't about the photo. It's about the experience. It's about showing up when the stakes are highest. It's about hope and heartbreak intertwined. So in the quiet moments after the stadium empties, when Tyler walks out into the Toronto night, the memory of Game 7 will stay. The memory of the moment. Not just the result. Because presence is its own reward. Because he lived the night. Because he cheered for his team. Because he believed. And in this story, it matters that Tyler Hynes didn't just attend. He belonged. He was part of the tapestry of thousands of fans firm in their belief. He marked the return of an era. He honored the journey. He stood, cheered, hoped, and carried the city's energy. And finally, perhaps that is the greatest takeaway. Whether we win or not, showing up matters. We mark the occasion. We invest our hearts. We carry the memory. Tyler Hynes at Game 7 of the 2025 World Series is one of us. The fan in the stands, the believer in the journey, the one who says, "I'm here. I made it back." And even though the way it shakes out wasn't perfect, what remains is the roar, the hope, the moment. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.